Right. Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here with y'all and talk about operating in a digital world. I think the pandemic has changed a lot of things for businesses, and we're here to share our experiences. So to talk about who we are, Hello Amigo, we're a creative communications agency. We use design, programming, and digital advertising to build brands, improve operations, and amplify voices. Some of the key services are branding, web development, and design. And we also do a lot of in-between digital advertising and marketing. So again, my name's Armando Alvarez. I'm a partner, along with my partner, Brandon Silverstein, and I'm also the creative director. So I head the design team, and I have over 18 years of experience. Some of our designs and logos have been published, and as an agency, we've received over 80 awards. Go ahead.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name's Annalisa Silverstein, and I'm the account executive for Hello Amigo. I have over 10 years of executive leadership. I am on the board of the WBBC with the Hispanic Chamber, and I can't wait to share how we manage our team in a virtual environment.
Yeah, so again, we're here to talk about the digital world, how we transitioned from a physical office last year to a virtual one. So the pandemic, we used to have a physical open air office, but we had all of our files, calendar, and project management system backed up in a cloud. Prior to COVID, the reason for this was in case anyone was not in the office, everyone on our team could access whatever was needed. Then came COVID, and nobody knew how to treat a business and also life, right? So we decided immediately to take our computers home and started working remotely. And I think it was March 14th, I believe.
Yeah.
It was that first Saturday. We're like, okay, we gotta get this thing going. Our team has enjoyed working from home, so we decided to continue working remotely. So we're gonna learn how we work virtually, and I hope this helps everyone.
All right, so organization. That is the key to something that we do very well, and it's the reason we're able to transition from working from home into a digital workplace. So every tool we're going to show you is available online. Some are free, some are subscription-based, but really, to be honest with you, the value, of the subscriptions are way less than any rent or overhead that you would have in your office. So as the project manager, I'm going to talk about a project management system we use. It's subscription-based, and it helps us organize and assign our project tasks. So we use a program called Teamwork, and we're going to show you a little preview of what that looks right now. And there are many project management softwares out there. There's Basecamp, Hive, Brike. Really just finding one that works for you and your team. And because they all have like their own special things that they do. And then what you want to do is just make sure it allows you to keep all your projects organized. And to be honest with you, a lot of our clients are like, oh my gosh, if I just send you a request, like, does it go anywhere? Yes, it does. And we're going to show you exactly how we organize all of our projects, over 80 clients, and all of our tasks that we manage. So this is just an example of a task list. So this is so what's really cool about Teamwork is it allows you to add projects. So this one you're looking at is under our marketing project list, and then we make a task list. So the task list is the Hispanic Chamber presentation. I put the date that we had to do it on, and then these are all the tasks that we set up to make sure that we were able to put together this presentation for you today. So the way that we use it is that everything's actionable and everything has a due date, a tag, the little marketing, content production, it'll tell you like which department has to take care of what. We organize things by due dates and milestones, and every task is actionable. So as soon as somebody finishes that task, they take themselves off of it, and then they go on to the next task and assign the person to the next task. What's really cool about teamwork is it also has a calendar that will have our milestones, if somebody's out of the office, if we have meetings with someone. So anything related to operating is in teamwork. And what's also cool about teamwork is it has a feature of like notebooks. So if you're having a meeting with a client and you want to consolidate everybody's notes from that meeting, you can do so in the notebook. Or if like we recorded the meeting, we'll put all the information related to that project in that notebook. So it's access to, everybody has access to it at any time when they're working on the project.
And just to add to that, Anna, just looking at this task list, notice how there's only one team member assigned to it. So the idea is that we want to keep the project moving forward all the time. So the tasks are only assigned when when somebody needs to work on something. So for example, here, let's start at the top, brainstorm presentation direction. So, you know, you can see this little bubble here. There was communication already. So this was established. Once that was established, we moved it on to our team member, Angie, where she transferred the outline and into a presentation. And so once that is done and it's approved internally, we can assign it to the designers to add any other elements to the presentation. So we would, you know, Angie would unassign herself and add a designer to it, and so on and so on. So there's always steps, and we can add due dates. That way we're on our target, and it really helps us keep us in, you know, in line. The other thing about teamwork also is we want to make sure that if any team member is sick or maybe gone for the day, that anybody can pick up any task that are due that day and know exactly what needs to get done without having to ask everyone in the team what's going on with a project.
And something, no matter what project management system you decide to use, what's important is that you establish rules of use for your team and you communicate that. That way everybody is on the same page, everyone's using it the same way. We like to keep projects on track and active. Once we finish out a project, then it allows us to archive the project and we can go back to any work that we did in the past, bring up any files we have, and add new active projects. We're also able to go through each part of the project and make sure that we have accomplished every single step for it. So whether it's a website, it's an annual report, whatever we're designing or working on, we always have the record of where we are on that project.
And so, I mean, that's kind of the idea behind teamwork. That's our biggest tool for us to keep our business flowing. Another one we do use is a file management software, and we use Dropbox. So Dropbox, it is subscription based, and you can share and store files with your team and clients. File management is critical, especially on our business. We have large files, design files, websites, you name it, documents, presentations. So we have to safely and neatly save designs, we create with all different formats and versions, share things with clients that need review, and say things clients have sent us as well. For example, if we're building a website, maybe the client is going to share photography with us, so we have a folder for them so they can specifically upload it for us. So this is an idea of how we organize our file storage. The flip side, let me go back. The flip side of file storage is the need for a system to make sure we can easily find what we need when we need it. We created a system to help us keep track of internal files, client files, etc. So here's an example of how we organize ourselves, because we heavily do a lot of design work. We have the identity and branding assets for each client, which includes logos, color formulas, style guides. Style guides help us and vendors make sure that all colors look the same, make sure that they use the logo properly, and so on. And then right below it, you have a share to vendor. So if we have a big print file, say, maybe it's a publication, an annual report, 32 page, 36 page, it's too big to send via email. We upload it to this Dropbox file, and then we share it with the vendor. And then moving down, we have different folders. Projects is the one we use heavily. That's where all of our design work goes, and we keep files live there. And we, once we finish a project, we'll go ahead and archive. So we always try and clean up. Years ago, years ago, when we were a lot smaller, it was easy to navigate using our desktops, our hard drives, and we grew a lot, and our design team grew a lot, and all of a sudden we had probably thousands and thousands of files. So we had to figure out how to stay organized, and we ended up using Dropbox. Again, there's other applications you can use, like Google Drive and such. So just pick the one that works best for you.
One thing I also want to talk about, what I like about Dropbox, is it has an app, and you can also access it always like online. So sometimes if I'm out in the world and a client is like, oh, hey, can you send me my style guide? I can just easily access it from my phone, and I can just send them the link to whatever they need. So that's kind of really nice about it too.
Yeah, and so we typically work on the cloud. That way, if I'm out or another designer's out or any team member, somebody can pick up the job if it's due the next day, and not have to worry about looking for the files. So some of the rules, you always want to establish rules with everything we do. So some of the rules are Dropbox rules, I should say. Creating a folder, a naming system. So that keeps you organized, because it can get cluttery, right? It's like kind of throwing your mess into your closet. You just don't want to deal with it. You'll do it later. Well, it never happens. Later never happens. So we're always busy. Everybody's always busy. So we want to make sure that we're always staying organized. We archive completed project folders. So we delete any files we need. We package and organize all the files that we want to keep archived, and we archive by year, sometimes by month too. We also sync frequently use folders to our computer. So like I said, we have thousands and thousands of files, and if you keep everything synced to your computer, it kind of slows down your hard drive. So make sure that you only sync whatever is needed at the time. Another thing is leave other folders online only formats to save space and time. So communication now, when you're not all working in the same place, communication becomes increasingly important. We use tools to ensure we're all on the same page with our projects, upcoming deadlines, and more. And I do have to say, with the experience we had over the last over a year and a half, really, I think we've become a much more organized business because we've had to work remotely. It's forced us to communicate better, and it's forced us to stay organized as an individual as well. So using a messaging system. So we talked about Teamwork, which is our project management application. We talked about file management, which we use Dropbox. We use this thing called Slack. Slack operates as a direct message system for you and your team. Conversations can happen in real time, more efficiently than an email thread. Share files, do a quick video call, or create groups and channels based on your team structure. We have channels for business development and the design team, and a few other channels. So basically, Slack is, I'm sorry, let me go back to this. One other thing I wanted to comment, these are the software and applications that we use, but other similar software like Google Chat and Microsoft Teams work just as well. So here's an example of Slack, our channel. Here on the left-hand side, you can see all of our channels. We have work channel, we have random, which can be just for fun. In this case, we're designers, so we're kind of goofy. Not just designers, we're all creatives here. We're kind of goofy. Anna was looking for a font. You want to tell the story?
Sure. So one of our clients sent me an email and she's like, can you use this specific font? It's called Brandon Grotesque. And I started laughing and I was like, and she's like, no offense to Brandon. And so then I shared it with our team and I was like, hey, Brandon, I found your Halloween costume, and then we all laughed that it was called Brandon Grotesque.
So we do have a little fun with our communications, especially being away from each other. We don't get to see ourselves, our faces. We have an employee out in Alaska. We have another one in San Antonio, and we have a few programmers all over the nation, really. So we're all scattered. So this really helps us not only in the business sense, but also in the social sense. Just keeping in touch with each other. So again, Slack is great. So we use Slack for quick questions and to communicate about projects. Unlike Teamwork, there's always a process, and if we need something from the client or we need a question answered that doesn't need immediate feedback, we keep everything under Teamwork. For things that are a little more urgent, or maybe it's just a small question, quick question, we'll use Slack and be like, hey, I can't find this file or whatever it may be. Can you help me? And it's very efficient for us. So, but it also serves the purpose of the virtual water cooler, like I mentioned, where we exchange funny memes and articles that inspire us. So it's a great way to keep communications open and healthy.
So when you are in a virtual setting, leveraging your social media changes a little bit. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, of course, they're all free to use, but it's how you use it that really engages you with your audience. We found that we almost had to change the way we were using it after COVID hit, because it was like the world wasn't the same anymore. So, in the past, say we just kind of like pushed things out to our audience, but we didn't really engage them so much with this. But because we weren't seeing our clients and things as much as we were in the past, we decided, let's switch up how we're doing things and let's let our clients get to know the real us. And so we started doing mini informal webinars on Instagram Live. And we talked with, trying to educate our clients on behind the scenes. So we've talked with our favorite print shop, a nonprofit president on how we worked with them, and leadership from Digital Paso. Some of our clients that we work with, so people can kind of learn a little bit more about our clients, the work we do with them, and just to get to know us a little bit more. So here's an example of one of our Instagram lives. We did this with Brian Crow, and Brandon had interviewed him, and we've been working with Visit El Paso and El Paso Live for, I think, about more than 10 years now, maybe 14. And we've done so much for them. We've built an ambassador program module. We've done their websites. We've custom built blogs and requests. And then it became even more important how we were building things for them when COVID hit and was impacting their business. So that was just one of our clients that we interviewed, and we try to do one once a month. Our next one will actually be in October with Jim Ward, because we've been working with him a long time and done a lot of cool design projects with him. So it's just a way to get to learn and educate, learn more about our clients, but then get to educate, future clients or our audience on what we do.
And to add to that, social media is always changing. Algorithms are always changing. And so, posting, whether it's through Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, sometimes you see the likes and the followers kind of do this roller coaster ride, and you're always trying to figure out why or what's going on. And I think this Instagram Live is a great tool for us, because we get to not only bring in one of our clients into our network, but we get to learn about them, and we also connect with their network too. They provide that other outside audience. So I think it's very important for business building. You may not immediately get a business from it, but people do remember your name, and they will eventually call you if they need your services. It happens all the time.
All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is collaboration, and kind of how after the pandemic hit, we were looking for tools to increase our efficiency with collaboration with our clients. And this really has been very helpful. This tool we're going to show you has been very helpful for us. So we're going to talk about this tool we use called Punch Lists. What it does is we upload content either for our website, because when we are developing a website or a publication or anything like that, we always start with the content first. So this free tool called Punch Lists allows us to upload our content and make sure that everything's there on one screen, and we can send a link to our clients, and they can digitally go directly on there and make a comment. And before, in the past, what we would do is we would either send a Word document, and then they would have to comment on it, then we'd have to get it back. This kind of takes all of that away, and it makes things so much easier. So we're going to show you what it looks like on the next slide here. And so this is a screenshot of a website. So this is just the content for the website, but you can still see a navigation, and you can still see all the pages that we need feedback on. So what's really cool is the clients just click on the little pink dot, and then they drag it to where they want to make the edit. And then you can see Angie's comment here. Let's change the headline, and then she would tell us what she wants the headline to be. It also allows you to add links. You can upload files. The client can even do a video if it's hard for them to just explain it in writing, and they can say hey, can you say something a little bit more about this? And what's cool is that it will track all the different comments on each page. And then I'll send this to our designers or Angie, our content manager, and she can make the edits, check them off as she goes, and then we can send it back to the client and have them review the second draft. This is also very helpful for our publications, invitations, anything else we're designing, because it really allows them to see it and then make the comments there on the screen. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend Punch List if ever you have to get feedback or anything like this on content. The next tool I'm gonna show you about talk about is called Mural. And Mural allows you to let you do a variety of things. The way we've been using Mural most recently is it allows us to do a virtual calendar to plan our marketing tasks in advance and our day-to-day tasks for our production team. So Mural also has a lot of different things. You can use it for brainstorming, strategic planning. It allows you to just like draw, like if you needed a whiteboard and you needed a virtual whiteboard, and you can have different team members log in and kind of collaborate on that whiteboard. And it's just a really cool, we would use it sometimes just for fun and play like Pictionary or something for our fun Thursday meetings. But this is a very helpful tool, because before we used to have a calendar like in the office that was on the whiteboard. And then we're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do now that we don't have our calendar? Well, I quickly found this tool and we started using it immediately, and it really helps keep us organized. And we're going to show you an example of what it looks like. So this is our production calendar. Each little color square you see here represents one of our designers and what client they're working on their project for the week. So we have 3 designers, and then if you don't see their little color, that means they're out for the day or something like that, or they won't be there for the block of time. And it really helps us keep on track and project throughout the month what they'll be working on and when. And then from here, I create the tasks in Teamwork, and then we review it every Monday morning. And we also kind of review it at the end of the week too. I make sure to ask the designers where they are on their different projects. And the next one we're going to show you is an example. Now, this is like our marketing social media calendar. So it shows you the different, when we're going to post, what we're going to post. We add our newsletters, we add our AMAs, when we're going to post our print blogs, and this helps us keep on track for our marketing assignments.
So everything we're showing you is what fits our needs as a business. So there's tools for everyone. There's tools to fit your needs. So, I think it's very important to invest on your business. Some of these applications may be expensive. A lot of them are free, but at the end of the day, if you're running a business and you need to make money, it's good to invest on tools that are going to help you be more efficient. It's really, for us, it's not really about, we do have products, right? Like websites and logos and that kind of stuff, but we cannot do our best if we're not organized, if we can't be efficient in what we do. So all these tools really help us really tie in those bolts and improve our process, so the client gets the most out of us as creatives and everybody in the team. Another thing we didn't discuss, but business development is also, we use tools for business development as well. We're just showing you here a sample of some of the things we use to stay organized on the project side and the social side, culture, which we'll talk in a bit. But yeah, again, it's important to find tools that fit your needs. It really goes a long way.
And one more thing about Mural, I've also been using this in my nonprofit volunteer work, because a lot of times, say you're in charge in events or something like that, and you're working with a lot of people, it really helps to lay out a calendar or assignments. And so we used Mural with our El Paso Everywhere team, and it really just kind of helped us keep on track of our deadlines and things like that. We used this calendar format, and it was very helpful. And this last week I used it for like an agenda with another nonprofit. And you're allowed, it's really neat for like brainstorming in a virtual Zoom environment.
Cool. So culture, let's talk a little bit about culture. Meet with intention, right? So Monday meetings for us, we meet every Monday. We've shown you all these tools, right? We still need to get together and discuss things. So Monday meetings, every Monday morning, we cover marketing, production, upcoming meetings, business development, and any time if somebody's going to be out of the office, we try and make sure we set out goals, and it's weekly goals. So we meet on Monday, we figure out what we have for the week, and then we do that every single week. So another thing we do Thursday meetings, but we focus more on building team relationships and maintaining those connections. We lose and miss out by not being in the office together. So we'll have a quick conversation, share a joke. Or Anna here is really, really great about just making it fun for us, right? Sometimes we're tired on Thursday and we're gonna meet, and she has a game for us to play, and it really, it gets your mind off work, and we're able to just be ourselves, individuals, and just have a laugh. So it really helps culture for sure. So when you don't meet in person every day, you miss out on a lot of the little interactions that help you to get to know your coworkers, workers, and staff. So we still think it's important to celebrate our team. So we send virtual cards, like some of the examples. We send virtual cards to commemorate birthdays, anniversaries, and more. We'll show you a little example here. We use Kudo board. Again, this is Anna's. Anna tends to be the fun one in the group. And so every birthday, we sent this out through Slack, and we have everybody sign it. So if it's, for example, we have a designer, her birthday's tomorrow, Brianna. She's our newest designer, great creative, young creative, just graduated from UTEP not too long ago. And we sent this thing out. Hopefully she's not hearing because it's her first one, but we'll send out a quick message from everybody. You can add a GIF or a little animation and just have fun, right? It really goes a long way, makes everybody's day. I know it makes mine when I get one. So it's just these little things do matter.
One thing that we learned that we needed to do, actually we started doing this before COVID, but we continued and it's really helped us a lot, is establishing work blocks. So work blocks are 4 hours of work where it's uninterrupted. So that way during these work blocks, we don't have any meetings. We just allow everybody to get, assignments done. And then we have chunks of time, say in the afternoon or whenever, that we meet with our clients, or we can meet with each other for internal meetings. Because we do meet, even though we do our Monday meetings, sometimes we need to meet internally on specific projects. And we try to do it without having to interrupt anybody when we don't need to. And so it's just kind of a way to respect everybody's time, so that way they can just focus on what they need to do. And I know it's really important for like our programmers to have these work blocks, and our designers, and me when I have to like call clients or interact with them or work on a presentation or something like that. These work blocks really help us.
Yeah, and these may or may not work for you. And the intention really is, with just being away, there's a lot of emails, there's a lot of all kinds of communications kind of coming your way. So this provides time for you just to focus on what you need to what you need to do. Everything else can always wait a little bit, right? So it helps some of us. Others use it more than others, and the work block doesn't have to be 4 hours, right? It can be anything that allows you to finish your work.
I don't think we mentioned this, but we also have to keep track of our team members' time zones. So we have a team member that's in Alaska. So she is, I think, 3 hours behind us.
Always forget.
Yeah, I think it's 3 hours behind us. And then we have one that's in San Antonio and she's an hour ahead of us. And then a programmer that's in New York and he would be 2 hours ahead of us. So we also have to make sure when we are collaborating that everyone, we're sensitive to everyone's time when they have to have lunch or they need to be out at a doctor's appointment or something. So that's another reason why these work blocks are really important.
Yeah, and for our business, we don't, everybody has responsibilities, and it's all based on trust, right? We all trust that everyone's going to do their work. For example, I think a few years ago, we decided to start allowing everybody to just work half day on Fridays. This was a summer thing. It's typically hot in here in El Paso, and it kind of just helps you, right? With the heat, it just helps you get out and relax and do your job. We added a little extra time during the week just to make up for it. I think at the end of the day, I think we're just under 40 hours. Anyway, everybody enjoyed it so much, and not only that, but everybody was more efficient, I believe, and everybody does their work. We haven't had a problem since that. We're still doing it with no plans of getting rid of it. So, you always have to find ways, not just in the digital world, right? But just find ways to improve culture, the environment. I mean, everything that may affect your team members.
So talking about working virtually and from everywhere, you need to make sure that you check your Wi-Fi speed. So a lot of times, let's say, for example, we can go on vacation or we can be out of town and work and still work our work hours. But we like to use this tool called fast.com to check your Wi-Fi speed. And this is really an easy thing to do, if you're working at a cafe, you're working at a hotel, wherever you are, check your fast.com internet speed, and you want it to be more than 30 Mbps or higher. So this is especially important if you're doing a Zoom like we are right now, or you're doing an Instagram live, and you're using like a hotel or cafe. Well, hopefully you're not doing an Instagram live at a cafe, but if you're in a hotel room and you want to check how fast your Wi-Fi is, this is just a really great tool. We used it the other day, and because someone wanted to check the Wi-Fi speed at a hotel. So this is just really, really helpful no matter where you're working, because that's another good thing about working virtually. As long as you are online, you have access to all your tools that are in the cloud. You can essentially work from anywhere.
True.
So we just wanted to add that little tip for you all. All right, Charlie, now we are ready for some questions.
Yes, so we do have quite a few questions. ESDI asks, which business development tools do you use?
Good question. Currently, and we've been using this for a while, we use Pipedrive. Pipedrive is a great tool for everything from getting a lead in to finalizing it, approving it. So what's great about it is you can add the potential client's contact. You can keep track of the messages, like you can have emails forwarded to the software, and you can communicate with your teammates, assign task If maybe I need print quotes from a vendor, like Anna, can you get me these print quotes so we can put the proposal together for the client, and so on. And then you can also see how much you're making every month, or what you lost on, any trends from the years past. It's very, very detailed. I highly recommend it.
One thing that I like it for too is you can see if they're opening up the proposal and how many times they viewed it. So it helps us a little bit to be like, hey, I noticed you haven't opened it, and that way we can follow up on the proposal quicker.
Definitely. We also have another question. How long would you recommend the mini info webinars that you have on your Instagram Live? Like, how are they, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes? Do you leave them to 15 minutes? Does it vary?
We do an hour and it works for us. We don't seem to lose our audience. So I think that's good. I think it depends what works for you, right? And how long it's going to go. We typically organize ourselves. We're prepared for these events. We have a set of questions, typically more than needed, but in case you need it, you always have to be prepared. So stay organized. I think also with that specifically, it's Instagram, right? So you want to have fun. You kind of want to make it, it should be a relaxed conversation, not so robotic, and just have fun with it. Try and look at different angles versus, if this is my business, this is what we're going to talk about. No, there's so much more to discuss that can really create a fun environment, and people will still get to know you.
And engage, yes, I agree. We also have another question. What is the best approach to businesses to offer visual solution services?
Sorry, what was that again?
What is the best approach to businesses to offer visual solution services?
So like design, I take it,
Yes.
and so on. Oh, it's not every business. Every business takes a long time to build, right? There's really no such thing as overnight success. There's a few lucky ones, obviously, but really, you have to network. You have to get to know people, get involved, make sure people know who you are and what you do. I personally, I was never one to like push my services to anybody. It was always very social, like, yeah, this is what I do. If you want to check out my work, it's here online. People will call you if they're interested. There's an audience in every industry. There's an audience for you. There's going to be people that don't like what you do. There's going to be people that love what you do. And those are the people you need to focus on. So you build those circles, make sure you stay organized internally, and create good work. And that goes a long way. That's the most important part. Your work will create your customer service, and your work go the farthest.
And I will definitely add for like young businesses to establish your identity and your branding and your style guide early. Like, just invest in it. I mean, I know ours start at 5,000 for the services, but it's so worth it, because once you have all your logo files for everything you need it for, I mean, you can do anything. You can print your business card, your brochures, you do your signage, do your bags, do anything you need for your business. And it's like the first thing that people will see you. So that, they'll judge your image by your identity. And so really, really invest in it. And I think that's really important. Don't shortchange there.
Yeah. And you want to be unique. So you want to be unique. If you don't hire the right professional to do whatever work you need, you're going to blend in. You have to be unique. You have to be different. I know a lot of new ideas tend to be, makes people uncomfortable. And we say this because it makes our clients uncomfortable a lot of times. But once the brand starts to grow, they get it, they start to build around it. And you see success. So you have to be unique, very important.
Perfect. So, I mean, how do you deal with clients who are not as technology inclined?
We teach them. We show them our tools. We'll do a little training on them. And I will tell you, we have clients from 20 years old to 80 years old, and maybe a little over 80. And they all can use our content management system that's custom, that's our own. For the websites, they can use punch lists. I'll make little videos for them if they want to go back to make sure that they, how do you do this again? I'll be like, oh, we'll just watch the video. I'll walk things through them via Zoom or something so we can screen share. So all these tools we showed you are very, very user friendly.
Yeah. And I have two answers to that. On the business side of things, like our websites, like Anna mentioned, we build websites. They're all customized, meaning all the design and programming is custom, and we build every single website specifically for the client in front of us. So once that product is done, the client can go in there and update the website on their own with, just by typing or updating a paragraph, whatever it is, or uploading a picture, whatever, or an event, whatever it may be, and submitting it, and it's published. Boom, easy. So it's, when we're talking about, people that don't understand tech, that's how we help our clients get familiar with it. We make it easy for them. On the other end, the internet's it's a great tool, right? How many of us, if we can't fix something at the house, or maybe we want to make there's a recipe that we don't know about, or whatever it may be, all you have to do is Google it, and the answers are there for you. So if you're looking for how to, I need project management ideas for my business, Google it. You're gonna find so many solutions out there, and explore the ones that may fit your needs. That's the best
they
tool.
all have demos,
Mhm.
and they all have like free trials if there's a subscription. Like I think Mural, we free trialed it for like 3 months, so they really kind of get 3 months is good because it's a time of establishment, and then you're like, oh, I can't live without this. Yes, subscription,
Yeah.
And it's kind of
play with it to see do I really understand how to use this application to its fullest ability.
yes.
And and that's one thing we didn't discuss. We didn't get to this point just by saying, oh, there's teamwork, let's start using it. It took us a while to, there was applications that didn't work for us. So we kept looking around, looking for something that was going to fit our needs. And so sometimes it does take time, but again, you have to invest into your business, and it's time, it's money, it's everything.
Right. And going back to when you say that you train your clients, are these one-on-one trainings, or do you have like trainings, group trainings? How exactly do you conduct this?
It's however, we can do it however, whoever needs the training will train them. So usually for content management systems, if it's more than one person using it, then we'll just say, hey, get everyone on the Zoom and we'll do it all at one time. Or if it's just one person we're working with, then we'll just train that one person. It's either way.
Okay, perfect. We have another question. How effective do you think traditional email marketing is compared to newer social media marketing?
It's really a blend. There's really like not one specific method that's going to work. It just depends the intentions, what you're trying, the call to action, what audience you're trying to target. There's really, if in the real world, or in the perfect world, you just try everything, right, and kind of figure it out that way. But every social media platform, every marketing method, whether it's newsletters or emails, whatever it may be, they all have their they all have their costs, and you just have to kind of figure out what's going to work for you. Again, not everything works all the time. It just doesn't. And you have to be able to change and try to figure things out, try to find out why certain things aren't working. Look for trends, okay, this hasn't been working for a while. What are we doing wrong? Or is it something that's just not working for us? What is it? You always have to analyze it, every couple of months or whatever it is.
I will definitely say if you're running a nonprofit organization, email newsletter marketing is like very important, especially if you want people to like volunteer, donate, know when your events are. I would definitely invest in the email marketing. And most of them have like, they're free up until a certain amount of account senders that you have, and really just upgrading to like the $30 a month isn't that big of a deal. And I think it's really important to keep in communication with your donors.
And then the way we use it internally, newsletters, we try not to bore our audience, I guess. So we do it sporadic, meaning it can be once a month, it can be every 2 months, sometimes even once a quarter. It just depends. Do we have effective content that's not only going to help us, but educate the client? And that content can be anything from new work, showing it off, to maybe an event that we're having, or maybe even a blog that we wrote. Blogs are very important, by the way. We didn't discuss that a couple questions ago, but a blog is a great way to add content to the cloud, to the internet, right? People are going to find when people start searching for you or for your services, the more content that's out there, the better chance that they're going to find you. So Angie writes all of our blogs, and most of them, I should say, and she does a great job. And we're happy. Well, first we're lucky to have her, but she just does a really good job on how to write them, using proper keywords. I mean, it's almost a science to some point.
Yes. We also have ESCI. Annalisa, being that you're so involved in the community, additional to your workload, what tools do you use to stay on top of everything?
So I use my calendar on my phone a lot for like reminders when my meetings are. And I try to treat sometimes my volunteer work like my work. So I use time blocks and I try to schedule time. Okay, I need to plan this this day. So I try to, do that in my personal time with time block, and use some of these tools within my organization. I'll tell you for Progress 321, since we're all volunteer based, and then with Junior League 2, using tools like Google Drive really helps a lot when you have a lot of collaborators and you need to share things. And I mean, it's free. So I would say for my nonprofits, I use Google Drive a lot more than say Dropbox.
And then one last question, what is the best way to professionally share your graphic design and video portfolio?
Good question. Well, there's a lot of tools. We kind of scatter everything, but now that we're grown-ups, if you will, an adult business, and we've been an adult business for many years now, our website is our best marketing tool as far as the portfolio goes. So we pay close attention not only to content for our portfolio pages, but also visually, how we take our time trying to lay that out. And then services, right? So I think, portfolio and services go hand in hand. Like, okay, so you did a logo, I see you did a logo, and you can do t-shirt design, but what's your purpose? Like, what do you guys, what are you about? So I think our website explains in detail who we are and what we do, and really our foundation core services. There's a lot of other tools, Dribble, Behance, oh man, even Adobe has something going on now. So social media, Instagram's great, even LinkedIn, Facebook, I mean, you name it. I just wouldn't throw the same post everywhere. kind of make it unique. Every platform has a different audience, so make sure you make it unique. If it's a logo and you want to show off your visual appeal, you know, share it through Instagram. If it's Facebook, maybe there was a press release for the client. Share the press release, the link for the article, and so on. You gotta be creative.
Perfect. Well, I think that's all of our questions. We did have a comment from Layla. Work blocks are so helpful to manage multiple projects. So just a very positive feedback and comment. I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us. Thank you, Ms. Silverstein and Mr. Alvarez. This presentation was very helpful, and I know our viewers are very grateful for the information that you shared with us. I know I got a couple of questions asking if we would be able to share their presentation through email, as well as sending the recording of our webinar. I'll go ahead and do that at the end. We'll send an email out. And if you would like Ms. Silverstein or Mr. Alvarez email so that you could reach out to them, I will go ahead and share that with you as well. So thank you all so much again, and you all have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much.
Thank you for